Today, I want to tell you about one of the best pieces of acting in Doctor Who. The 2005 reboot is full of astounding acting. Every Doctor and companion has incredible moments. I don't think I could point to a bad acting example, but when I think of incredible acting on Doctor Who, I will always come back to Alex Kingston's monologue at the end of Forest of the Dead, the second half in the two-parter that was the first introduction of her character, River Song. Hi, I'm Beth. I've been obsessed with River Song ever since I can remember, but now that I'm not 8 years old anymore, I can finally articulate why. First, several disclaimers. The Moffat era of Doctor Who is contentious, as is Stephen himself. I'm not going to get into why, but I will link below a post on Rowan Does Reviews that lays down the basics. He has written many episodes and many characters that I hold dear to my heart, and some I believe to be of good quality, but that does not indicate my support of him. Also, there's something to be said about the way he writes women. A lot to be said, actually, but that's a different video. My love for River isn't mutually exclusive from any criticisms of her character. All I'm saying is, when I compliment his writing, just use your critical thinking. Engage that brain. My third disclaimer is that I am not an acting critic. I don't have a degree or any particular knowledge, but I do have passion. I have credentials in the form of a fan account I ran on Instagram when I was 12. So if you're looking for a serious, critical, academic video, this is not that discussion. However, if you'd like to join me in gushing about Alex Kingston's acting for 25 minutes, climb aboard. Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead first aired in 2008, and they are both bangers. It stars David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, Catherine Tate as Donna Noble, and Alex Kingston as River Song. It also has a fantastic cast of secondary characters: Steve Pemberton, Tallulah Riley, David from Once Upon a Time plays Face on Egg. It's star-studded. And if you've never watched them before, I'll quickly lay out how the plot is presented. The Doctor has been summoned to the library, a library that takes up an entire planet. However, when they arrive, they are the only people there. This library should be teeming with people, researching, learning, reading, but it is completely deserted. Soon enough, though, they are joined by a group of archaeologists led by Professor River Song, who, it turns out, was the one who summoned him. But she didn't exactly mean to summon him. She interacts with him with extreme familiarity, which doesn't strike the Doctor as odd straight away. He's a time traveller. He meets people the wrong way around all the time. But as the episode goes on, it becomes more and more apparent that River Song is special. She has a diary that looks like the TARDIS. She has his sonic screwdriver, and in a moment of desperation, she reveals she knows his name. Something that shakes him to his core. At the same time, while the Doctor is realising how important River must be in his future, River is realising he really doesn't know her. Something that shakes her equally. This is when I would love to start talking about Alex Kingston acting, please. I wish I had watched this episode when it first came out. I wish I hadn't been 4 years old, but because when I first watched Silence in the Library, I was already familiar with River's entire arc. Imagine watching this without knowing anything. This new character is introduced. This storyline starts up with no warning. She dies, and then she disappears for 2 years and then randomly pops up again in Time of Angels in 2010. How insane is that? To be fair though, there is also an advantage to knowing her whole story when watching her first appearance, because you can just marvel at how good her acting is. She really, really looks like she knows him. Looks like she has experienced all the future stories and feels so deeply for him. There's this amazing moment when Strachman Lux, played by Steve Pemberton, says, "Look at you, squabbling like you're an old married couple," and she just looks at him. And knowing what we know now, it says so much. I'm holding my microphone in front of my face, I'm so sorry. And I have to mention David Tennant too, because his acting throughout this is spectacular too. The way he looks at her in this moment, the questioning, the realisation, realising how important she must be to him, but she's not yet. Oh my god. Those two acting against each other is just amazing. I wish we would have seen another meeting between them because I would have loved to see her with David Tennant again. I know they have some Big Finish stories together, but like episodes would have been amazing. I also wish we could have seen their like second ever meeting from his perspective, because when she turns up in the Time of Angels, it's sort of apparent that they've met a few times, but I digress. When River realises he's not messing around, she pleads with him, "Doctor, please tell me you know who I am." And he says, "Who are you?" And I can now say that I have seen somebody's heart break in front of my eyes.
"Doctor, please tell me you know who I am."
Who are you?
I just think it's so impressive because there's no discrepancy between how Alex plays her here and how she plays her here, even though there is a 7-year difference. And in River's timeline, this is before this, and I totally believe that. And I believe she has those memories. I believe she has this intense history with him. And I can feel her heart breaking when she realises that, one way or another, this is it. Because River has always known that she's heading here. Not to the library, per se, but to a point in her timeline when the Doctor doesn't know her. She opens up to Rory about it in the episode The Impossible Astronaut. She tells him about how her and the Doctor's timelines are running in the opposite directions. Her firsts are his lasts and vice versa. When she first met the Doctor, an event we later find out happens in Let's Kill Hitler, he knew everything about her. He knows who she will become and reveals how important he will be to her later. And she knows that one day the opposite will occur. She will be the one who knows everything about him, and she'll look into his eyes and feel nothing.
And I think it's going to kill me.
When River pleads with the Doctor to tell her that he knows who she is, she's pleading with him to tell her that she's not at that point yet. And when he responds with zero recognition, we are watching her worst fears come to pass, before we even knew what they were or why she has them. This is good stuff. The weather agrees. And just like River always does, she has no choice but to pull herself together and focus on the matter at hand. These 2 episodes as a whole are just so great. They make me cry every single time I watch them. Donna's story in the dream world, the library database, is just heart-wrenching. Her children! She had children! She had children she felt real emotions for, and they weren't real! She grieved those children, okay? Listen to me. And when it turns out her husband was real, his stammer stops him being able to call out to her before he's teleported away. She lost a whole family. A family that was real to her. Even if she forgets it eventually. Not because of that. Even if it fades because it was akin to a dream, she still had those experiences. That's insane. Can we just dwell on that for... That's heavy, bro. And speaking of Donna's storyline, she and River have this incredible moment where Donna says, "Hey, you're from the Doctor's future. Have you met me?" And River's like, "Oh my god, you're Donna Noble." And Donna's like, "What does that mean? What happens to me?" And, like, that means that the Doctor has told River about Donna, which is just beautiful because, like, she meant so much to him. And I'm so scared of what's going to happen to her in the 60th, bro. Like, I want them to be careful with retconning her brain being able to handle all the memories, but I also don't want them to kill her. I don't know what I want. Honestly, everybody's acting is amazing in this episode. Eve Newton, who played the little girl Cal, is amazing. For such a young age, she breaks my heart, and she reminds me of one of my cousins, so I feel for her quite a lot. And Catherine Tate, oh my god, what did I say? Heartbreaking. Her screams of distress when her children disappear? You just expect me to move on from that? Jessica Williams, who plays Anita, always captures me because she's so good. Her whole performance is so compelling.
Keeping it together. I'm only crying. I'm about to die. It's not an overreaction.
Steve Pemberton is so good too, so is Tallulah Riley and Colin Salmon as Dr. Moon. Honestly, these episodes are full of really strong acting. And it had to be, because it's a really emotionally tough storyline. It needed people who could carry that off properly. I also have to say, I love the Vashta-Narada. I think they're so cool. They're such a sick concept. I love the rustling sound they make when they, like, swarm.
The piranhas of the air. The Vashta-Narada.
I love how the episode utilises the ghosting mechanism and uses, like, the suits so the Vashta-Narada can walk around. It's really spooky. But, I am getting off track. The point of this video was supposed to be River's monologue at the end of Forest of the Dead. The long and short of it is, in order to save everybody, the Doctor plans to kill himself.
We'll beam all the people out of the data core. The computer will reset and stop the countdown. Difficult. Charlotte doesn't have enough memory space left to make the transfer. Easy. I'll put myself up to the computer. She can borrow my memory space.
Difficult. It'll kill you stone dead.
Yes, easy to criticize.
It'll burn up both your hearts and don't think you'll regenerate.
I'll try my hardest not to die, honestly. It's my main thing. I'm right, this will work. Shut up. Now, listen, you and Luxy Boy back up to the main library. Prime any data cells you can find for maximum download. And before you say anything else, Professor, can I just mention your passing as you're here? Shut up.
I hate you sometimes. I know.
I love that little exchange at the end because it's such a nod to their later. I hate you. No, you don't. Basically, River puts herself in the Doctor's place. She knows he's got no chance, and even though she's got even less, she knows she has to sacrifice herself. He can't die here. She's from his future. She can't be from his future if he doesn't have one. And I'm just going to play you the monologue.
Oh, no. Come on, what are you doing? That's my job.
Oh, and I'm not allowed to have a career, I suppose.
Why am I handcuffed? Why do you even have handcuffs?
Spoilers.
This is not a joke. Stop this now. This is going to kill you. I have a chance. You don't have any.
You wouldn't have a chance, and neither do I. I'm timing it for the end of the countdown. There'll be a blip in the command flow. That way it should improve our chances of a clean download.
River, please, no.
Funny thing is, this means you've always known how I was going to die. All the time we've been together, you knew I was coming here. The last time I saw you, the real you, the future you, I mean, you turned up on my doorstep with a new haircut and a suit. You took me to Darillium to see the Singing Towers. What a night that was. The towers sang, and you cried. You wouldn't tell me why, but I suppose you knew it was time. My time. Time to come to the library. You even gave me your screwdriver. That should have been a clue. There's nothing you can do.
Let me do this.
If you die here, it'll mean I've never met you.
Time can be rewritten.
Not those times. Not one line. Don't you dare. It's okay. It's okay. It's not over for you. You'll see me again. You've got all of that to come. You and me. Time and space. You watch us run.
River, you know my name.
Auto-destruct.
You whispered my name in my ear.
9, 8,
There's only one reason I would ever tell anyone my name.
5,
There's only one time I could.
Shh now.
3,
Spoilers.
2,
Not those times. Not one line. Don't you dare. Okay, maybe it was a little bit about the writing. You can't not love it. I recently watched a video where Alex Kingston reacts to some iconic River song moments, and one of them was obviously this one. And she says, I really look like I know what I'm talking about. You have no clue. I know I said this 5 minutes ago, but I just have to reiterate how much I believe her. And I would have believed her even if I didn't know everything she was talking about. I can't believe this was filmed 7 years before The Husbands of River Song. Because, like, yep, she's been there. You can't convince me she hasn't. I have to mention one other moment I love from these episodes. When River is talking to Anita about how she knows the Doctor completely, but not this one, she says,
Not my Doctor. I've seen whole armies turn and run away, and he'd just swagger off back to his TARDIS and open the doors with a snap of his fingers.
And the Doctor says that's not how it works. But at the very end of the episode, when Donna and the Doctor can finally leave the library, he opens the door with a snap of his fingers, and it shows one day he will become the man that River knew. Throughout her run on Doctor Who, Alex Kingston had to act all sorts. She had to act like she had done things, act like she didn't know anything, act like she hadn't done things yet that she'd already filmed, act like someone pretending not to know anything, and in her very first appearance, act like she had done it all already. And she pulled it all off completely. And you might say, yeah, she's an actress, duh, that's her job. But I don't think I'm just easily pleased. I think this is genuinely impressive stuff. I'm so happy we got Alex Kingston as River Song. I think she was the perfect choice. And I love how much Alex loves River. She's always happy to play her, and 2 years ago she published The Ruby's Curse, a River Song novel. And I just love that she did this, because this is exactly what I would do if I was on TV. If I had a character on Doctor Who, I would be on AO3. I'm giving myself little extra stories. It's not fan service if it's for me. I think that's it. I know this video has been a bit all over the place. I promise it had a script, but I was rambling when I wrote the script, so it's a bit like that anyway. I love the sound of the rain. I've been wearing a little Doctor Who pin the whole time, but like half of the video I was sat like this, so you couldn't even see it, so it didn't even matter. I'm going to apologise in advance for the audio when I haven't even listened to it yet. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye. Not quite 25 minutes.